what's going on? This is Ed Cara, BFR Tuesday. Thanks for joining. I'm here in rainy Dallas, Texas. I don't know what's going on. Should be 1,000 degrees right now, but it's not. So I'm not complaining because it will be hot enough soon enough. All right, so what I like to do at these sessions is answer any questions regarding BFR, and then I usually will chat if there's any extra time. Just things that come up on a regular basis regarding BFR and BFR programming, etc. So best way to ask me a question is to go in the upper right corner under chat and you can type in your message. So I'm going to put in hello from Dallas. If you could do the same where you're at, that would be great. So I know who I'm speaking to and where you are in the world. Lewis, what's going on, buddy? Hey, Tom. A routine written somewhere to maximize BFR is a workout routine. Yep, there is. If you go, let me, I'm going to, I know I did I think it was your first 30 days of BFR. Let me see. Looks like it's, so here's a link. This is an online guide to virtual BFR training. Not really programming. I have a 3-week BFR, kind of an on-ramp program that's in our Smart Tools Academy app. So Thomas, if you give me your email address, just send it to ed@smarttoolsplus.com. I'll add you to that Smart Tools Academy. And I think there's 3 weeks in there of kind of a training program, how to get started. But I think that's a really good thing to talk about today, which is, how do we kind of get started with this stuff? I think, number one, for general fitness, what I would do is I would do BFR aerobic capacity training. So what that means is that you're going to put the cuffs on your lower extremity and you're going to go for a 20-minute walk. And you want to try to walk at a pace that's brisk enough so that you can get your heart rate to about 35% of your heart rate reserve. I've done numerous YouTube and also sessions on my BFR Tuesday about how to do that. So you do a 20-minute, that's 60% lower extremity LOP, and you're going to do a 20-minute walk. Let's say at 35% heart rate reserve. Okay, then you're going to, depending on how many days a week you want to train, what we know is that you need to train between 2 and 3 days a week for that body area for size and strength. So let's say you did 2 times a week upper body, 2 times per week lower body, and you're going to do, let's say, compound exercises first. So compound exercise for the upper extremity, let's say you do a horizontal row, or lat pull down, or modified push-up. You're going to do one of those. So I typically will do a compound exercise first, and then you're going to do isolated, and then isolated exercise, bicep curl, tricep extension, shoulder to overhead. That's what your upper body day might look like. Your lower body day might be air squat. That's your compound. So lower body, air squat, and compound meaning multiple joints being used at the same time. It's neurologically more challenging. You get a little bit more peripheral and central nervous system fatigue, and that's why I do them first. Then you're going to do isolated lower body. So you're going to do, let's say, knee extensions. You're going to do calf raise. And you're going to do standing hamstring curl. And so, you know, kind of go like one compound, two isolated, three isolated max. You're going to look between 3 and 5 exercises per training session. Now you can also do, if you wanted to be more aggressive, you could do upper body in the morning, lower body, like do your walk and then upper body in the morning, lower body at night. People do twice a day BFR because you're not causing any muscle damage, so it's okay to do that. But that would be an example of how I would get started with just general fitness. And you can mix and match any of these exercises, you know, like, hold on one second.
You're gonna need this for a while.
Oh, you need it?
I can probably just use body pump.
I just do 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right. So you can mix and match any isolated exercise, any compound exercise that you want. In the beginning, I tend to stay a little bit lighter. Like don't blow your don't blow yourself out. Use lighter pressures, 60% lower extremity, 40% upper extremity, and do that, and then gradually increase your pressures over time. It takes about 2 weeks to get used to BFR. So use lighter pressures and lighter loads and just get used to it. Somehow I need to take all this information and put it into programming. Maybe I need to write out monthly programming for just general fitness. I don't know if I have people that would be interested in it or not, but maybe. Lewis, how does BFR intermittently, say something like once or twice per week instead of, for example, 6 consecutive weeks every other week, impact its effectiveness? I think that's just like general fitness. If you're using it as an adjunct, probably less than, like if you're doing normal workouts and then you're using it as an adjunct, you can do it once or twice a week and still see benefit. The more you do BFR, the better it's going to be. So people that train twice a day with BFR see better and faster results than if you train once per day. But you can't, you know, you have to take rest into consideration, not just because of muscle damage, because of nervous system fatigue, peripheral fatigue. So just be mindful of overtraining, and especially in the beginning, first 3 weeks, you don't want to overdo it because you'll get really sore really fast, and then you're not going to want to do it anymore. Let's see. Automatic pressure function on BFR. What is it and how does it work? Okay, yeah, sure. So automatic, that's on, I think you're talking autoregulation, Joe. Autoregulation means that the pump is going to automatically inflate and deflate to keep the pressure consistent, versus when I have the cuff on and let's say I'm at 60% limb occlusion pressure, and let's say that number is 133 millimeters of mercury. I'm totally making that number up. Let's say it's 133. When I do a muscle contraction, because of the contraction of the muscle, that pressure is going to go higher. It might go to 135, it might go to 140. not dangerous, it's not a problem, but it becomes more uncomfortable. So what the cuffs do is the pump can do an auto-regulation where it'll constantly keep the pressure of the cuff at that 130. It makes for more comfortable training, to be honest. I don't know if it increases your outcome at all. Just kind of fancy and kind of cool. Lewis, can you do BFR in multiple shorter sessions? Yeah, your body doesn't know the difference between if you do a 20 or 30-minute session over a 24-hour period or if you do 4 8-minute sessions. It doesn't know the difference, so there's no problem. The only thing that you don't get the accumulation effect, whereas like you're building up metabolites over time, and so you're getting that fatigue. So I would say that you at least want to do 2 or 3 exercises for that body region. And so in order to get the accumulation effect, you have to do a couple exercises back to back. So Thomas, yeah, so on the Pro version, you can, most of the time, I love these cuffs because you can remove the pump. But if you want to do auto-regulation, you keep the pump plugged in. You can't jump in the pool with the pump. It's hard to go do like sprints with the pump or running outside of the pump. You have to like put them on a backpack or something. But some people prefer to have that auto-regulation on. So what you would do is you would keep the pump plugged in and you would keep it next to you. That's why the Pro versions come with a much longer hose. So this is the Pro version hose. And it's real long. And then that way what you can do is you can just set it down. I can have it plugged in. I can be doing my work and it can auto-regulate. And I keep it plugged in at the same time. And I would have 2 pumps on. That's why if I was doing that, I would get the Pro Elite that has, that way you have 2 pumps. And then you're auto-regulating. And you would do the same with the legs. Put the pumps on, maybe you're on a bike and it's auto-regulating as you go through the bike. Joseph, how do you calculate 1 rep max when using bands or tubes? Yeah, it's hard. It's impossible, really. What I would say is use light loads, and instead of being over concerned about hitting the 30, 15, 15, 15, just know that your first 30 should be pretty easy. Second 15 at about rep 10 should be starting to get pretty hard. It should be hard to finish the 3rd set of 15 and should be really hard to finish the last set of 15. But there's really no way with bands and tubes to get a percentage of your 1 rep max. It's kind of what we have to deal with in rehab is I'm using light loads. So it might not be 30 reps, it might not be 15 reps. You might be 30 reps on the first, you're getting pretty fatigued. And then if it's super light, then you're gonna bump up. And you can bump up within sets. So if I'm using a 5-pound dumbbell and the person's having no problem, they're not getting any fatigue with it, then I'll bump it up to a 7.5 or a 10, even within that exercise set. So don't worry, you can always increase load if you need to. All right, cool. 115. These are great questions. I love the interaction. I really appreciate it. All good stuff to talk about. I got to think about if anybody has any ideas on how they would like to see like a monthly programming for general fitness. I know in my book I have a whole chapter on programming, and we talk about this stuff, and I'll have some examples. But maybe I need to make it more dynamic in the app. What book? Oh, I haven't written it yet. Well, I've written it. It's just not done yet. It's at the editor. But it'll be coming out. I think it'll be ready in June. It's at the editor for the first edit. Then I'll reread it and do it again. And it's Dr. LaCara's guide to blood flow restriction training. I think I might even have a picture of. We just finished the cover, and I'm super stoked. It looks really good. Let me see if I can. if I can find. Let me see if I can find the cover. Be easy if I was on my phone, because then I would just have it, but let's see. We just finished it this week. What's today? I'm teasing. I don't have access to it on my computer, but I have access to it on my phone. But let me see. I might be able to send it. Oh, here it is. I gotta email this to myself, so sorry, it's taking me a second. Okay.
Just give me a heads up when you're done.
All right. I just showed up as a handout, so it showed up as a handout. I don't know why I did that, but anyway. So yeah, so that'll be coming out, and it's pretty much just a guide on how to do BFR, comparisons between manual and automated. I try to make it not as science heavy and more just like user friendly. So we'll see. And then the next plan is performance, how to use it for performance, BFR, and then how to use in the aging population. And so I've got a few things lined up that I want to kind of get out there. But anyway, all right, my broom's got to be used for patient care, so I got to go. But thank you guys so much for joining. Great questions. And anybody that sends me an email, I'm going to respond. And thank you guys so much. Have a great week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.